Hey there, my Insta lovelies. Hello, 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 my Facebook lovelies. It's so good to be here with you. It's so good to be here with you, Insta gorgeousnesses, and you Facebook gorgeous babes as well. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the interior design advocate because I advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere to wipe out the ugly room, get rid of the disappointing result, the results that are falling flat. No, you're not missing the itch gene. No, you don't need a bigger home. No, you don't need a bigger budget. You do need strategy. And I've been called one of the country's leading interior design coaches because when I'm not running my luxury interior design company, I love to teach design lovers, both non-professionals as well as professionals, to really up your game. And our students, amazing, gorgeous, brilliant women that they are doing amazing things in their home, surprising themselves with results that they never thought that they would be able to create. So gratifying for me to see what everybody's doing. So every week on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, we stop what we're doing here in our design studio, and I come out here to talk to you, to teach you a lesson, to take questions about the topic of the lesson. Now, this week I'm teaching about something that you wouldn't necessarily have questions about. It's a more conceptual kind of lesson. If you have questions on it, great. And if not, I'm happy to take, every once in a while I like to do this to you, I'm happy to take some project questions, provided that I do not need to see a picture to answer you. If I need to see a picture, I will not take your question. I'd be doing you a huge disservice. And no, writing me 7 paragraphs, trying to describe and pantomime your space, that won't work either. So anyway, I'm so happy to be here with you. I had kind of a droopy wing day yesterday and the day before, a personal issue, and I was feeling kind of blue. And coming out here today, I thought, oh, how am I going to pull this off? And then as I was getting ready to come out and see you, I got excited because I love being with you. And I get such lovely DMs and emails from you and messages. And I'm so happy that I'm, helping you. But you guys have to know that this community lifts me too. And I just feel so thrilled about that, really grateful about that. Okay, so what are we talking about today? So today we are talking about the fact that there are two ingredients that you have to have under your belt if you want to create gorgeous rooms. I don't care what your design style is. I don't care what your budget is. 2 ingredients. I don't care how big your home is. 2 ingredients, just 2. Whether you're doing your whole room or home at once, whether you're doing a little bit at a time and moving through it, you only need these 2 ingredients. Okay, so here we go. Ingredient number 1. You may have heard me talk about this before, but it bears repeating. When you read Instagram posts that say, always style a cocktail table, or a blog post, every room needs a lot of color. Okay, I kind of roll my eyes. These are one-off ideas, and they may be valid, but what you need are not one-off ideas, and you don't need more pictures. You absolutely have to use design strategy, and design strategy is the what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and I think why. I think a good strategic design mind knows why something is happening, why you're dropping a color someplace versus someplace else, why you are hitting a particular shape in a room, why you're choosing particular, silhouettes for a table versus others. That's all design strategy, the what, the when, the why, the how. And and strategy gives you an ordered path. So there's no confusion, there's no overwhelm, there's no, gee, I'm stuck. You'll never ask a basic question again. And I want you to ask me the questions that you want to ask me today, by all means. But based upon the questions you ask me, I know how non-strategically you're thinking, and I know what strategy you're missing. So ingredient number 1 is design strategy. And I think particularly if you are working with a finite budget, and most of us are, you gotta use design strategy because that's how you will maximize every dime that you do spend and make the most of it. So every choice is the right choice, the best choice, and leading you someplace to that next phase, whether you're making that decision next Tuesday or whether you're making that next decision in 4 months' time, right? So design strategy, I don't care what your design style is. If you're not working strategically, expect to make your life a lot harder. The other ingredient that you have to have under your belt, if you want to create rooms that you love, that fit you like a glove, beautiful rooms. Again, I don't care what your design style is. I don't care if you're a modern farmhouse. I don't care if you're Cali casual. I don't care if you're a mid-century modern, or if you're a transitional or traditional or glam, or any style that I haven't met, or boho, any style I haven't even mentioned. This next ingredient is part of the secret sauce, and it's what I call the design fingerprint. What the heck is that? Your design fingerprint lives underneath your design style, and your design fingerprint is your design DNA. It's what makes you tick in design. It's how you and your partner, if you're designing with a significant other, how each of you separately relates to things like line, form, shape, color, texture, pattern, placement, just to name a few. How you need color alone dropped and mapped through a space, and where you need it placed. These are the mission critical things that live underneath design style. And when you know your design fingerprint, you will know exactly what you're drawn to and why. So that when you walk into a tile store or a fabric showroom or store or a rug store, or you're shopping online, you will be A, very fast, but B, you will know that most of what you're seeing is not right. And you will be so much faster because you won't see everything that's there. You will only see what is right for you. You will only see it. Everything else drops away. So let me give you an example of design fingerprint. Great client of ours, sweet couple. She's very shy. He's more gregarious. And this was when I was much younger in my design business. And I went to see them, and really he initiated my being there. And she, her name is Van, and I don't think she'd mind my using her name because this story I think is so cute. But Van was very shy with me and very straight, very serious, not smiley. Her husband's all bubbly in this first meeting. And we walked into her family room, which was a 2-story room. And she said, I think, the house was empty. They had just moved in. It was their dream home that they had built. She said, I'm thinking that I want, 2-story window treatments here. And I'm just listening, taking notes. And the more I talked to her, and then when I did a design fingerprint exercise with her, I saw very clearly in her design fingerprint exercise that this is a woman who needed to be hugged and contained by her spaces. She needed to feel like she was, under a canopy or in a nook, in a little cranny, right? And I'm looking at these big windows thinking, boy, if I do 2-story window treatments, I think this woman will be really unhappy with them. So I listened, and she was very serious, And so when we went and sat down afterwards, she said, well, what do you think of some of the things we talked about? And I said, Van, I said, now that I've done this exercise with you, I said, I don't think you'll be happy with 2-story window treatments. And I said, tell you what, our company, we've got an amazing workroom, and we can do gorgeous 1-story or 2-story window treatments. And to be honest with you, 2-story window treatments will be higher cost, be a higher ticket value into our company. So if I was just trying to sell you something, I'd say, sure, 2-story window treatments, check, got it. I said, but I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to do what's right for your design fingerprint. I said, from what I can see in you, everything you're showing me that you love, you need to be held and tucked in and comforted and just literally held by your space. You need to have ceilings drop down around you. You need to have something around you. And she started to smile for the first time. She said, Donna, come here, I want to show you something. I said, okay. So we walked upstairs with her husband. We walked up through her empty, echoey foyer, up through the upper level, through into the master bedroom. And she brought me into her closet, which was just a hanging rod. They hadn't done anything to the closet. They ultimately did. And she said, look at this ottoman in my closet. And there was a little round ottoman. And she said, sometimes David makes fun of me because I come into the closet and I just sit down in my little ottoman. I just need to kind of get all cozy and comfy in here. I said, okay, we're going to get you out of the closet. We're going to create a space for you that will feel grand and beautiful and handsome and everything that you and David want it to be. But I'm going to suggest that we stop your window treatments high above that first story of windows, but not taking it to that second story. So you'll have the little bit of lift and drama that you want, but we're still going to make you feel totally hugged and totally at home and cozy in your space. It's the design fingerprint that did it. I know when Katie first came to work at our company, she said, gosh, Donna, watching you present to clients, you go to that first creative presentation and you're right in that sweet spot of what that couple or what that individual wants. She said, my former design company, we'd go in for a presentation. It was like throwing pasta against the wall. Like, you like this? How about that? What about this? What about, and all these random things. The design fingerprint narrows the playing field. So if you are a professional listening to this, this is something you should learn about with me in one of my courses. And because it'll just make clients respond to what you're designing for them in a whole new way and allow you to deliver more. And if you're a design lover working on your own, this is just the secret sauce that makes you love your interiors for a really, really long time. It's a full lesson to talk about how to do the design fingerprint exercise. There are about 24 questions you need to answer, and there are pictures you have to pull. So if you want to learn more about this, as well as amazing design strategy, I encourage you, go to the link that I've posted, or go to the whatever, we'll put it in our, whatever, what do we do? Put it in the bio, the description, link in bio. Click on that link, check out the Decorating Genius System course. The Decorating Genius System online course is amazing because I not only take you through fantastic and easy to implement design strategy that works across all different design styles, but it also takes you through this phenomenal process I've developed and that I teach to designers in our company and anybody who takes my courses as well. And if you like what you see on that description page about the course itself, head to the blog because we have kept open a 20% off coupon for our blog readers. And so you can find that there, okay? I have story upon story to tell you about the design fingerprint, but my students, my Design Diva students are constantly saying, oh my gosh, game changer. And it is. So with that said and done, I'd love to take your project questions because I know often I only restrict the questions to the topic I'm talking about. So we're opening it up today as a gift to you. So if you've got a project question, as long as I don't need to see a picture, send it in. Happy to take it. So first, let me see what up and who's here. So I'm getting a lot of hellos. I've got questions already coming in on Insta. Jennifer McCann is giving me a hello. Hi, Jen. So's Joan. And then Sandra is, and so's Susan's giving me an hola. And Pam is saying, hello, you look great today. Pam, like I was saying when I first started, I was having a little stressful, unhappy moment for 2 days. And my motto is, the bigger the stress, the better the dress. So just wear something great when you're feeling really crummy. So thank you very much, but I appreciate that a lot. Good afternoon from Alabama, from Debbie. Hey there, Debbie. Ruth is saying hi. Jen is saying she always looks forward to Tuesday afternoons. Me too. I'm so glad. Okay, Becky's watching from Birmingham. Love it. Hiya, Becky. Sandra is happy to be here from Maryland. Hey there. Hello to all of my Instas. I know you're giving me hellos and so forth, and I can't read my thing as well on the phone. So that's why Katie's passing me things. But hello and hugs to you on Insta. Okay, let's get to some project questions. Okay, Jennifer's saying that the design fingerprint is a game changer. Karen's here from Montana. Hey there, Karen. Okay. Hellos, more hellos. Hellos from Deborah and Rita and Penny. Hi, girls. And Tresselian is here. Barbara is here from West Virginia. Okay. Hello to everybody across the country. Good to have you. I'm going to start I'm going to look for questions. Here we go. Okay, so Gina on Instagram said, I'm staining my floors and would appreciate some advice. Okay, Gina on Instagram. I have red oak floors and I'm going for a lighter look. My question is whether to go for a natural stain or a natural stain with a little white mixed in. Gina. Okay, so Gina's going to, I assume you're stripping down what you have now. and you want to know if you should go for a natural stain or natural stain with a little bit of white mixed in. Here's the story, Gina. Your floors are hugely important in the whole design paradigm of a room, right? It's another wall, right? You got these 4 walls and ceiling, wall number 5, and then the floor. And your floors are really more about a backdrop that encases everything else, as are your walls and ceiling. And if I don't have a picture to see what's going on around you, Gina, the colors in your mix, this is design strategy, right? It's not a random, nothing in design is random. No, the design, pick designs that you love on Pinterest or House, right? Nobody just said, I'll pick it out of a hat and I'm going to make this floor this color, right? It's one big thought. Now, here's the thing, Gina. When you work through this, I want to make sure that you think about what are your permanent elements that are not changing, right? If you got fireplace surrounds and any different flooring, perhaps in adjoining rooms, what are your fixed materials that aren't changing? But I want you, Gina, and you have to make sure you're cohesive with those, right? The fixed elements have to marry well together. But I want you to be willing, if you're working on a project in stages, and I say this as much to Gina as I do to everyone, if you are working on a project in stages, be willing to live with a little bit of dissonance short term if you know you're changing out some key elements. For example, let's say you have dated window treatments in a color that you can't stand anymore and you know you need to repaint, but you're not doing that yet. COVID's happened or whatever, but you have the money put aside to restain the floors like Gina's doing. I want you to stop before you pick that stain color. If you're changing other elements in the room that are non-fixed, do a concept board, do some homework, see where you really want to take that room. You don't have to have a final paint color, but you need to know, I'm going to want this wall color to turn into, I'm going to want my sofa to turn into, I'm probably going to do area rugs that look sort of like this, so that you see what your color palette's turning into, so that you can pick this new floor stain color well. All right, Gina? Gina. So I hope that helps you. And without seeing a picture, can't give you a more specific answer. If you're in one of my courses, though, Gina, I don't know that you are, you do have access to a members-only private Facebook group, like for the Decorating Genius course, and that's where you can post pictures and so forth. Okay, so let's see if there's anything happening in Instaland. Oh, I mean, you are Instaland. Oh, more questions coming from Insta. Let me hop over to Facebook real quick and see what my Facebookers are saying. Jan is saying, is it strange not to move to the next room before completing the first room? Jan, that's such a good question. It's not strange to do, but here's the thing. I tell this to my students. I tell this to my best girlfriends. I tell this to my clients. You are so much better off pooling your resources. That means not only the money that you're spending, but your time, your energy, your brain power in one room and getting it really done, rather than spitting a little bit of energy and money and time in a million directions, because then nothing ever feels done, nothing ever feels complete. And if you're sensitive in design, and you guys are, otherwise you wouldn't be here with me now. If you're sensitive in design, the way your home looks and feels affects you. It does. So stack the deck in your favor, get one space really finished and fabulous so it can lift you, improve that quality of life feeling, and then kind of fuel you and excite you onto the next space. So that would be my best advice, Jan, without knowing more of your specifics. Margaret is saying, so funny. I also like sitting in my walk-through closet. That's so funny. That's cute, Margaret. All right, well, there it is. All right, Sydney is saying, can you recommend for a corner in my dining room? The room is small. I have a small bar cart in one corner, want to balance a potted tree. Other ideas? Sydney, without seeing it, I don't, look, you know me. You give me a good fiddly fig, I'm a happy mama. So yeah, a nice big floor plant, why not? But I want to see the room. I don't think every corner of every room should be filled. I think when you let your corners breathe, I've noticed project after project that I've designed, when I let the corners breathe a little bit, rooms just open up. Now, Sydney, maybe you need some symmetry, but I wonder if a bar cart is really giving you enough balance anyway in that space. So, Cindy, I'd want to Sydney, I'd want to see a picture if that's okay with you. And Sydney, I know you're my student, so you can get into one of the private members groups and post a picture. Okay, on back to Insta. Ella is saying, what is the best color to balance and complement a gray sectional sofa? Ella, you can go in a gajillion directions. I mean, gosh, how much time do you have? I mean, again, I'd want to see a picture, but Ella, gray is a happy color sitting next to just about anything. I don't love it with brown, but even there, Katie and I were just in a meeting. We saw this really cool gray ottoman that had a brown leather strap across it. It was kind of hot looking. So it's about the undertone of gray. Gray can go kind of blue. Gray can go kind of if it has more black in it, it'll be what I call more balanced gray, a warmer gray. I guess that's what I should say. So I would want to see what the other colors are in there, but gosh, gray pairs well with everything from blush pink to pale greens to that wonderful goldenrod color that's out so hot still, which is a great color. Emerald green looks amazing with different grays, but again, it depends on the undertone in your gray, Ella. So I think you're missing color strategy based upon that question. And I bet you would go really far if you had some good strategy behind you. So go for it there, Ella. I believe in you and I'm cheering for you. Before I get back to Facebook questions, we have another one from Insta. Hello. This is from JB Divine MSJ. She's saying, hello, I have a huge air conditioner in my living room. How can I hide it or disguise it? I can't afford central air. You know, you can't hide it. It just is there. It's like, make the room fabulous around it and just let the air conditioner be. It's just, people will just look past it as a thing that's part of making them comfortable. If you put anything in front of it, you're blocking your airflow. You'll kill a plant. Even if you try to block it with furniture, you're totally going to hurt your airflow. So a lot of city dwellers, run into this as well in their apartments. Just let it be. That's without seeing a picture, that would be my advice to you. Okay. Good question though. Alrighty, let's see what other questions are on Facebook. Okay. Getting hello from Loretta. Hi, Loretta. Barbara is saying, I just put in new kitchen cabinets, cream with brown trim. The countertops are a difficult choice for me. I am in a large log home. Cool. And my fingerprint is basically modern farmhouse. That's really not a design fingerprint to tell me that you're modern farmhouse. That is telling me that you like a design style. Telling me your design fingerprint, I'll do mine. Well, I like so many designs, but I'm transitional. Don't like pattern. I can't tolerate pattern on the floor. I need a lot of quiet in a space. I'm fairly rectilinear, but I do like a little bit of curve. I don't like a lot of movement in the horizontal plane. I do like pattern at my window. I really respond well to very soft achromatic spaces or monochromatic spaces, and I also feel great in analogous colored spaces. That's an example, a little teeny bit of my particular design fingerprint. So Barbara, I don't have enough information from you. So she's saying she's in a large log home, modern farmhouse, any new materials, tired of granite, need something soft if that's possible. Yeah, listen, there is a lot of cool stuff out there. I think Cambria is doing some cool stuff, and some of it can be honed. So you can look at that. Soapstone in log cabiny kind of things is, again, I don't see what else is going on in your space, Barbara, so this is pretty general. The soapstone is really good looking, but takes upkeep. So I don't know what your upkeep desire is, but I'm guessing you don't want shine. And there are some really cool, Barbara, I think you should consider some of the finishes out there. There are some cool, even with granite, leathered finishes. Whew, they're good looking. And again, might be really nice for that more rustic log cabiny kind of feeling, Ralph Lauren-y kind of feeling. So there it is. So good question. Need a picture. All right, Kate is telling me final two questions. Okay, Loretta is saying, how do you choose rugs for this? How to choose two rugs for the same room? I don't want them to be the same. Good, Loretta. They shouldn't be the same. This is actually a bigger lesson, and you need to be very good with design strategy for mixing pattern and color as well as controlling where the eye moves in a space, which is the rhythm, part of the rhythm of the space. So your little question, which is a brilliant question, is really a big question. It's a huge question, and not one I feel I can answer well for you, beyond telling you that you have to include these rugs as part of your total pattern mix, conceptualizing and thinking. Again, much easier. That course I was talking about, I break down how to move pattern through a space. Can't teach that to you in a quick Facebook Live, but I know that that is something you guys struggle with. I do know that. Okay, Jennifer is saying, I'm in a Victorian, this is Insta, I'm in a Victorian home with a lot of walnut woodwork. It can look very dark. I know, that is, I agree with you. I don't want to paint it. So how can I lighten up the room around it? Jennifer, P.S. Decorating Genius System and Design CPR, creating perfect rooms with accessories are awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, design, and everybody, design is a sum total game. It's the combination of everything that creates farmhouse. The sum total of everything that creates Hollywood glam. It's the sum total of everything that creates the end result, Cali casual, or whatever you're going for, whatever vibe you're going for. If there's an element in your room that is problematic, it's always going to be a problem. And you're just going to be throwing band-aids around it. So the first thing I would say, Victorian home or no, you might want to think about painting your dark walnut woodwork. If it is something you're fighting, why fight it? That's number one. Number two, the way to the way to get around this dark element would be to lighten up everything around it. Lighten up your rugs, your fabric stories, your cabinetry, drop everything else in there in the lighter tone. But again, I'd need to know stylistically where you are as well. But if you hate something in a room, or it disturbs you, or it bugs you, it's always going to bug you. It's always going to disturb you. So I say, knock that out. So now you're not spending extra time and dollars trying to band-aid something and correct something that is wrong for you. Your design fingerprint, right? So that's the best advice I have for you, because you'll always see it. Even if you do a great job lightening everything else up around you, if you have a rug you can't stand or a sofa you hate, you're always going to see it. So at least with a sofa you can't stand, you can slip cover it, right? But that woodwork is an issue. So sorry, Jennifer, that may not be the question you want, but that's the answer that you want. But that's the best I have for you. All right, last question. Here we go. All righty. Needed a quick question. Rita wants to know, my house is French country design. Is there a way to make it feel and look more glam? You know, Rita, I need to see a picture. That was a very heavy design style for a while. That trend has sort of moved on. So what I help people do is select pieces that are overtly French country, very, very cut, or in that real yellowy tone, whatever. Select the biggest bang for the buck pieces that you can start to change out and go for more streamlined silhouettes. If you're one of my students, I don't think you are. Forgive me if you are, Rita, but if you are not one of my students, you might want to think about popping into Decorating Genius, because there's a private members-only Facebook group there so that you can post pictures of what you're doing and post pictures of what you're thinking of adding, and then the whole community can weigh in. And those divas, they are some good divas. It's a great community, very loving, very supportive, very active, very energized. It's a great, great community. And my team is in there as much as we can be as well. All right, guys, listen, I'm sorry if I did not get to your question. There were lots more questions than we had time for. I actually have something else I have to prepare for, so we got to get out of here, which is why Katie gave me the high sign that we had to do 2 more questions. Let me tell you what's happening next week. If you missed, first of all, any portion of this, you can certainly find us on YouTube. You can find any one of our Facebook Lives on YouTube, plus the other really cool video that we cut for you. So in fact, we're shooting more video for you on Friday. So you can find us Decorating the Interior Design Advocate there. And if you're not following us on Instagram, girls on Facebook, you are missing the party. You can find us at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. You girls are already there, so there it is. I don't think I got that high enough. There you go, at decorating.genius. And then, oh, next week, here we go. All right, next week, sometimes you guys ask me, is it okay to hire a designer? I'm doing all this learning on my own. Yeah, you can hire a designer. But you got to make sure you hire the right designer. Just like we were talking about subcontractors last week, somewhere in your town is the very best painter or dentist, right? Or accountant, speech therapist, nutritionist, and the best and the worst. Same thing in the interior design industry. So you want to make sure you're hiring and finding the best designer for you. So next week's topic is how to choose a designer who will work with what you love, with your style, with your goals. Okay, so we'll be talking about that next week. How to choose a designer who will work with your style, your needs, your goals. Okay, lovelies, it was so good to see you. Always is great to see you. So we're going to wrap out now. And I will see you this coming Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and I look forward to it. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.